moving on to the digestive system. So we have our main digestive organs here that we're going to learn. And then we have accessory organs. So our accessory organs are basically your salivary glands, your teeth, your tongue, your liver, your gallbladder, and your pancreas. And everything else we learn is one of the main organs. So starting in the mouth, we have obviously the upper and lower lips. And then we have what's called the labial frenulum. So the frenulum is just this little attachment here to the gums from the lips. And you've got an inferior one as well. And the opening to the mouth is called the vestibule. We did have a vestibule of the nose, if you remember. And then obviously we have teeth. So you don't need to know the different teeth, but they do have different names. And then we have the gingivae, which is basically your gums. And the hard and the soft palate. So we kind of already talked about the hard palate, and then the soft palate back here, which includes the uvula. And then your tongue, and the tongue is a lot bigger than you think. But it is tied to the bottom of your mouth with this lingual frenulum. So babies that are considered tongue-tied, this frenulum is too tight that they can't raise their tongue to the roof of their mouth. So they have improper swallowing. So this little lingual frenulum gets cut, and it can be cut later in life. You know, we're always bonking our chins or something. So by the time you get to be an adult, one of these three frenulum, or all of them, are going to be cut at some point just from having accidents. And then we have what are called the tonsils. Tonsils that are on either side of your tongue are called the palatine tonsils. And if you were looking in a mirror and you open your mouth really wide, they're usually tucked behind this little wall right here. But if you have chronic illnesses of the upper respiratory, or even strep, these tonsils will start to get inflamed and swollen. So tonsils are basically similar to lymphatic tissue, but they're part of the lymph system, and they trigger your immune system. So if you are inhaling through your mouth, or you're digesting food that has pathogens in it, they will send a signal to your immune system to respond. So an overreaction to immune response causes these tonsils to keep swelling, and at some point they will grow out so far as to even touch each other, which is called kissing tonsils, and that can cause sleep apnea. And so there's a couple of reasons why we would have these palatine tonsils removed. Obviously, if they're a collection area for bacteria, or if they are swollen to the point that they're touching, and they're rated on like a scale of 1 to 4 on how far they come out from behind this little wall right here, and 4 would be all the way to the middle. So these are the ones you think of when you're thinking of your tonsils being removed. This view right here shows you, so you can see one of the palatine tonsils on this side here. And then we also have one called the lingual tonsil. And the lingual tonsil is on the back of the tongue right here. Sorry, I had to think to myself for a second. So it's on the back of the tongue, really far down. I mean, you can't really see it. And then we have one that's actually on the roof of our nasopharynx, which is called the pharyngeal tonsil. And this one is sometimes referred to as an adenoid. So if you have a tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy, they're referring to this as the adenoid. So just know those 3 tonsils. So this picture is showing you your salivary glands. And your salivary glands, if you remember, they're one of those accessory organs. Um, they are located, there's 2 big ones that are located on top of your masseter muscle. So if we were looking at the cadavers, this parotid salivary gland is sometimes mistaken for the masseter muscle. It's huge. It sits right on top, and then it has a little duct that travels in and dumps in between the inside of your upper cheek and your gums. Again, these are on both sides. And then you have a sublingual salivary gland that is below your tongue, kind of behind your teeth. And it has little ducts that come up through the bottom of your mouth. And then we have the submandibular salivary gland. And this one is deep, kind of near where the hyoid bone is. You look deep up into the throat from a posterior view on the cadaver. Sometimes we've got this one dissected out, the submandibular salivary glands. And their duct runs up and empties right behind the front teeth here. So this is how you gleek, is you milk this salivary gland with your tongue, and then it comes out right here, right behind your teeth. Haven't figured out how to do it myself, but it's a nice, fun, stupid human trick.